Yo, what's happening, Cookie Gamers? So today, we had some okay feedback to the last reaction, but with that was a request for another reaction. People wanted to see Energy, Aceu, or Fade's Movement Guide. Fade's Movement Guide is about 45 minutes, so if we were to watch that, we'd have to break it down into parts. If you guys want to break that down and understand it better, we can do that, or I'm gonna try and get through Aceu's right here. So I'm gonna try and do Aceu's. Thank you guys for commenting. Let me know if you want to see more reactions of this or if you just want me to go back to daily clips. Either way, I'm happy. Let's go. Look at those sponsors he has. Sheesh.
Hey guys, welcome to the long-awaited movement video. I know you guys thought it was never gonna come out, and so did I, but here we are.
Look at that movement.
So my job here is I'm gonna show you how
He's climbing to the top of the world.
to use the mechanics of movement, and at the beginning I'm gonna show the basic inputs and how to do it, but later in the video I'm gonna show actual examples, and I'm gonna
Oh my,
through
that was hip fire.
So the three things that I try and use movement for when I'm playing are using line of sight to your advantage, which is can the opponent see you? Second is reposition, whether it's the high ground or creating space. And the third is manipulating your enemy's pathing so you can take a fight that's advantageous for you.
Write that down. Write that down. Can the enemy see you? What was the second one? I should have wrote this down.
Can the opponent see you? Second is reposition.
Repositioning, I told you.
Or creating space.
High ground or make space.
Manipulating your enemy's
and manipulate your enemies,
so
guys.
Can take a fight that's advantageous for you. Alright, so I want to start this out by saying that movement and using these mechanics, they're only going to be as useful as you let them. So you have to be as creative as possible when you're trying to come up with these routes and really just utilize them to the best of your ability. So it's going to take a lot.
I wouldn't have gone up there. I would have just ran straight.
Imagine
you're that banging you disconnected on Aceu.
Try and move around the map. I kind of picture the game like Mirror's Edge, where everything that you can utilize is pictured in red, and so obviously everything is not going to be red.
I can't do that.
You try and have a mental layout of where you're trying to go.
Okay.
Alright, so if you look at the top left, the very bottom is my velocity. That's essentially how fast I am moving. When you start sprinting, your maximum velocity is 299 units. But if you want to farther that, you're going to want to slide jump. To do that, you
looks like it's popping up to like 400
speed, and you slide, then jump.
447 I saw right there. Okay.
Pretty much the same time. And after that, you'll get into about the 440, 450 velocity. It's pretty much the fastest way to move around the map.
You guys know that. Slide jump to move quicker. You guys know that. Come on. Instant
so for
slide
this
jump.
Piece of movement tech, it is super universal. You can do this everywhere. So you can see when you sprint to a wall, your velocity is 0. There's a wall there. You're not going to go anywhere. But your first step you take, your velocity spikes up to 299.
You guys can slingshot yourself.
You get a full slide jump if you time it right. So you climb up, slide, jump.
Okay.
And you go pretty fast and you get a lot of distance.
Okay.
If you ever do this right here, it's because you mistimed it, so you're not going to get that slide jump. So just go and practice your timing, and you should be using this all the time. It's very useful.
Okay, so slide jump off climbs, guys. Climb animations
Clip, I'm pretty
to
much
recover that lost
the
time.
Building almost instantly after using the zip. And in the second clip, I'm getting pushed by 2 enemies. And instead of using the slide jump, I use an instant just jump to gain acceleration into a slide. So I can reposition outside the building.
Juked, absolutely juked. So you can jump into a slide too, you don't have to slide jump.
That A and D inputs into a climb, because as long as you're holding W, you will stick that thing like glue. So just be on the lookout for alternative routes you can take, and just go ahead and practice and get a good feel with this.
Okay.
So the first clip we have here for climbing, it kind of shows how the sky is the limit when it comes to climbing, because I just found this on the go and I got really good at positioning on this guy on top of the roof. So just keep your eye out for different routes you can take. The second clip just showcases that pretty much any building in the game, there's alternative routes to take other than just taking the stairs or taking a really obvious direction or way that an enemy would be expecting.
True. If I heard someone climbing on that building and I was up top, I would not have guessed right there unless they were a Revenant, but you can hear a Revenant. Wraith climbing sounds different.
In Capital City, this is the largest building in World's Edge.
Okay.
And not only can it be climbed from the back, but it can also be climbed from
Wait, so Revenant's update's useless? You could just do that instead.
Using the red pillars. So a lot of the times an enemy will expect this, and it's a lot less noisy.
I haven't seen that one.
Here in the
Okay.
last clip, I showed in combat, you can break line of sight from the enemy, then climb a wall, and then they usually won't expect you to be above them, so you can take a better fight.
Wow, that was toxic. He got
Alright,
confused
so
a
now we're
lot.
gonna get into a thing I call redirecting your momentum, or redirect. So you're gonna be using this a lot to turn corners very quickly, and it's gonna help you in chases. It's gonna help you on getting certain places that you couldn't before. It's just gonna be very useful. I use it all the time, so I suggest you get really comfortable with it because you need to incorporate into your movement. Alright, so to do this redirect, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide jump into it, and you're gonna point your back into the direction that you want to go. So the inputs are slide jump, then turn your camera,
The turn.
DSA. And if you're going the opposite way, to the left, you want to point your back to the left, and you're gonna hit ASD.
I didn't know
So
that.
what this does is, if you slide jump straight and you just hit D, you're gonna see that it moves you to the right. And if you
Okay.
slide jump, turn your back, and hit D, then it's gonna go almost 45 degrees
Okay.
to the way that you wanted to go.
So you
And
guys
then
watching
if you add
this?
in the other inputs, S and
You're gonna cancel your slide. You're gonna point your back to where you want to go, and then you're gonna hit the opposite direction of which you were going.
A. Then it'll do the full
That's very
90-degree
interesting.
redirect. So if you just want to go into a game and practice this until it is almost natural, I really recommend that because you're gonna be doing this a lot and you really don't want to mess it up.
So that's how you can look back at what's coming at you and still move
So next we
efficiently.
have B-hopping. First things first, I think you should bind jump to down scroll or up scroll. It helps it a lot. You can do it with spacebar, but definitely bind it to scroll.
I don't know if these are
So,
still in the game or
B-hopping
not,
is
guys.
essentially just jumping whenever you touch the ground.
Some of these might be outdated. I have no idea if bunny hoppies if that's still in the game.
And whenever you want to go left, you hold A and move your mouse to the left. And whenever you want to turn right, you hold D and move your mouse to the right. That is called strafing, and that's how you're going to keep your speed, and that's how you're going to turn. You don't have to hold control like I'm doing now, but I personally hold control and W whenever I B-hop.
Okay.
But you can do it without holding control or W and just using the A and D inputs. Whatever
Sorry
is
guys, I'm not
comfortable
even
for you.
reacting very much. I'm just learning. I'm
So
in
a
class right
couple
now.
Uses of B-hopping are healing and getting around a corner at the same time, dodging enemies, or even continuing your momentum after a small drop when you're trying to get around a corner.
Those are all good uses of B-hopping.
A
Or
lot
you could
of
just go
having good
backwards,
movement is
apparently you
having
can
a good
moonwalk like
understanding
he
of the
showed last
mechanics
time.
that you are doing.
Okay, let's go to the
That's
next
how you
one,
can
because
get
not
a
everyone
really
can do this.
different movement techs that there are. So we only have one clip for B-hopping, but it showcases how you can B-hop and heal at the same time.
Okay, you've already had someone
You
B-hop
don't
away
have
from
to
you.
spin being the classic E scroll jump. You don't have to use scroll jump for this, but it's definitely a lot easier than hitting spacebar. So what this does is it essentially just launches you into the air. You
Okay.
get a lot of height and distance from this.
So
and you can
jumping
use
as
this
you're
to
grabbing the
outplay
zip,
opponents
you might be
by
able to do this on
kicking them at an
controller. I'm not
angle they may
sure.
not be
He's just saying
expecting.
it's easier with scroll wheel.
Or you can use it to get on top of something that you usually can't jump on, or you can climb to, but you don't want to spend the time climbing.
Okay. So counter zipline tactics,
Alright,
like
for
climbing
horizontal
buildings.
zip lines, there's a lot you can do, so don't be scared to jump off. A lot of the times, if you're just riding a zip line, you are a free target and you're just gonna get shot. So don't be afraid to just jump off.
I don't think you
Then
can
hit
do that. I
E to
think
get
you
back
can only
on
grab
and
it
keep
3
jumping
times
off.
now.
You can do this, and you can stay on the right, the
You,
left,
you
above
can
the
only do this
zip
3
line.
times now.
You
I'm
can just be a
pretty certain. So
lot
we're gonna
harder
skip this one.
that you are at.
That
And-
being said, you can still do it 3 times, so you can still juke people jumping off and grabbing back on. You just have to count how many times you've reattached yourself.
and you can pretty much just ride the zip line without actually being on the zip line.
Okay.
Alright, for this next movement tech, it is one of the harder ones. I don't have a name for it, but essentially all you're doing is you're hitting E to get on the zip line, then immediately jump off.
Okay, you can't do that
And then
anymore. I do not think you can do that
E to
anymore.
hit you. But like I said, this is very hard to consistently do. Match. And another thing you can do on vertical zip lines to avoid being shot is just spinning.
Spinning,
So just
that's
moving your
true.
mouse and spinning around the zip line,
Spinning
it kinda
around
throws your hitbox around, and your
does
character
mess that
model, and
up.
makes you a harder target.
Definitely spin on zip lines if you guys don't do
This
that
just
already.
shows the E scroll jump in action. There's no other way you could get on top of this without doing it, so just always just be on the lookout when you're around a zip to see what you can do with it.
Insta jumping off zips, guys.
So for the zipline clips, this one showcases not only the E scroll jump, but also the spamming E and jumping off and spamming E and jumping off again and again and again. So I'm able to not only dodge bullets, but get damage off until the point that I whittle them down and I can just finish them off. Here it shows Dizzy doing the E spam from a third-person perspective, so you can just see what it looks like and how hard to be able to shoot that.
Yeah, it's just
For the last
zigzagging.
clip, it just shows how you can use ziplines to redirect your momentum and be trickier to hit and get better positioning.
That you can still do for sure. Okay, so with that ad, we're gonna take a break here. If you guys want to see part 2, I don't react to this whole thing and it just bombs. So if you guys want to see part 2, you guys know how to do it. You like, you subscribe, and you comment. All of those motivate me and make me want to figure out what did that. And if I know it's this video, then I'll make a second video. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.